Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Previous video we have discussed taxonomic categories. If you have not watched, I am providing a link in the description below. Let us start today's video. This video will start with another concept, that is taxonomic age. So, taxonomic age. What are taxonomic aids? That means literally means the tools which are used for taxonomic studies. That is simply we can say the tools which are used for taxonomic studies. But definition, some techniques, procedures and stored information that are used for identification and classification of organisms are called taxonomic aids. So, what is the definition? Some techniques, procedures and stored information that are used for identification and classification of organisms are called taxonomic aids. So, what are taxonomic aids? Some techniques, procedures and stored information that are used for identification and classification of the organisms are called taxonomic aids. So, they are required in almost all the branches of biology, like agriculture, forestry, and also even in the industry. At first, we can identify the bioresources. So, that is the use of to know about the taxonomic aids. So, I will list out some taxonomic aids which are frequently used for identification and classification of the organism. First, I will list out, then we will discuss in detail. One is herbarium. Herbarium is a taxonomic tool. Second, botanical gardens. Museum, zoological park, cheese, fifth one, flora, manual and catalog. These are some of the taxonomic aids we can use for identification and classification of the organisms. First, let us see one by one. First one, herbarium. What are herbarium? Herbarium is a stored plant species, stored collected plant species which are dried pressed and preserved on a sheet. They are called herbarium sheets. So what are herbarium? Herbariums are the collection of plant species. Collection of plant species that are stored in a preserved on a sheet, separate sheet. Before the storage, we can collect the plant species, we can dry the plant species, we can press and paste it on a sheet. They are called herbarium sheets. What is a herbarium? Herbarium is a collection of stored plant species which are dried, pressed and preserved on a herbarium sheet. On a herbarium. There is a special sheet we can maintain for this. They are called herbarium. What is an herbarium? Herbarium is a collection of stored plant species which are dried, pressed and preserved on the sheets. Then later these herbarium sheets are arranged in a universally accepted classification. So later, important point, later these herbarium sheets are arranged according to universally accepted classification. That is maybe then someone looks at classification, natural system of classification or phylogenetic system of classification, like this. And one more thing, next, another point, these herbarium sheets along with the description, they contain some description along with the information. This information is useful for future use. That's why herbarium are called stored house or repository. That means these herbarium sheets act like quick reference system. So we can, whenever you want to know about particular plant species, this already we have collected some plant species. That plant species will give some information through herbarium sheets. So that means a herbarium sheet contains some information. Okay, and now the size of the herbarium sheet. Generally, the herbarium sheet is 41 centimeters or 16.5 inches in length. This is in length. The herbarium sheet has a length of 41 centimeters or 16.5 inches and a width of 29 centimeters or 11.5 inches. The width, that is the measurement of the plant. This is an herbarium sheet. And the herbarium sheets, they also have some labels. That actually the label is present at the bottom of herbarium sheet towards the right hand side. So a herbarium sheet is having a label. That label is present at the bottom of the herbarium sheet and towards the right hand side. This label also contains some information. That is the information on the label. What is that information? One, date and place of collection. Place of collection. That is date and place of collection. This information you have. And second, the names in English local or botanical names of the plant. Botanical names. And third information, family. And some fourth information, the name of the collector. Name of the collector. So this information is had. That information is. So this is about the herbarium sheet. So nationally and internationally, some institutions, they can maintain the herbarium, the plant species in the form of herbarium sheets. For example, internationally, we have a Royal Botanical Gardens. Internationally, RBG, Royal Botanical Gardens. They are at Kew, England. This institute, this is the largest botanical garden, and Kew, it is present at the Kew and England. It maintains nearly 70 lakh plant species. It maintains about the herbarium. They have collected the plant species and maintained that all plant species in the form of herbarium. So nearly 70 lakh plant species are collected by this institute, Royal Botanical Garden. And also nationally, in India, national level, one is Central Herbarium. Central Herbarium, that is in West Bengal. It also maintains nearly about 2 lakh plant species. And second, Madras Herbarium. This is also a BSI, Botanical Survey of India campus, which is in Coimbatore. It maintains nearly 4,08,766 plant species. So this is about the herbarium. Okay. And next taxonomic is botanical garden. What are botanical gardens? These are the centers in which can maintain the plant species in various stages of living. These are called botanical gardens. What are the botanical gardens? These are the places where the different kinds of plant species are available in various stages of living. So, for what purpose we are maintaining the botanical gardens? They are for identification. So botanical gardens are useful for identification of the plant species. Okay, the areas or places, the places where plant species in various stages of living, where plant species are maintained in various stages of living, for identification So they are called botanical gardens. Botanical gardens are useful for identification. So that is. And when you visit the botanical garden, you may be found some plant species. They have some labels. That labels contains information. That label contains the name of the plant, the label. So in the botanical gardens, the plants present in the botanical gardens, they have a label. This label contains information of name of the plant and family. Name of the family. So let us see some important famous botanical gardens. See first, Royal Botanical Gardens at Kew, England, UK. This is the largest botanical garden in the world. And nationally, in India, there is a Indian Botanical Garden, that is the largest botanical garden in India. It is situated at Howrah. And National Botanical Garden is Lucknow. These gardens are maintained by Indian Botanical Research Institute. Indian Botanical Research Institute maintains the National Botanical Gardens. And Lloyd Botanical Gardens, Darjeeling, Lalbagh Gardens, Bangalore, Shahrampur Botanical Gardens, Shahrampur, UP. So these botanical gardens are the places which have a collection of various plant species in various stages of living. They are useful for reference and identification purpose. So this is about botanical gardens. The next taxonomy is museum. Museums generally established by educational institutions such as schools and colleges. Museums are the places having collection of preserved plant species and animal species for study and reference. Okay, so how could museums help to us? Museums have collection of preserved plants and animal species for study purpose, and reference. So that are how could we help museums help us study and reference. What type of species are there? Museums contain plants and animal species. They are in the form of preserved forms. And after death, we can collect the specimen, we can collect the plant species with filling and pins. Okay, so that is museums. Generally, In museums, these plant species and animal species preserved in a special jar or container which contains a preservative. That generally that preservative is formalin is used. So these preserved plant and animal species are kept in a jar or container which contains preservative. Okay. This generally used preservative formalin. Important point. So, in museums, the plant and animal species are collected as in a dry form, in a dry species. Whereas insects, we can maintain insects in the insect box. Insects are maintained in insect boxes. There are special boxes are available in the museum in which we can keep insects after collection, killing of the insect and pinning. Okay, so these insects for study purpose, various types of insects. In museums we can maintain insect boxes after collection of the insects, killing and pinning. And another one, large birds and mammals. Large birds and mammals are used as preserved forms by stuffed. So generally museums, they also have some skeletons, animal skeletons. Okay, so this is about the museum. The next taxonomic tool, zoological parks. Zoological parks, these are also called zoos. So these are the places where wild animals kept in protected environment under human care. So what are zoological parks? These are the places where wild animals kept in protected environment under human care. These are called zoological parks. What are zoological parks? These are the places where wild animals kept in protected environment under human care. How these zoological parks help us? See, these zoological parks help us to understand the food habits of the animals and their behavior. So these These zoological parks enable us to learn food habits of organisms, animals, food habits of animals and their behavior. Okay, so these are the zoological parks. The largest zoological parks in the world zoo in the world, that is in the South Africa, Kruger, South Africa. In India, National Zoological Park. In India, Delhi. So this is about the zoological park. The next taxonomic tool, that is keys. Keys are the another taxonomic tool. They are used for identification of plants and animals based on the similarities and dissimilarities. What are keys? Keys are the another taxonomic tool used for identification of plants and animals based on the similarities and dissimilarities. So, is another device used for identification of plants and animals based on similarities and dissimilarities. That is called keys. Dissimilarities. So that is a key. Keys are the another device. They are used for identification of plants and animals based on the similarities and dissimilarities. The commonly used keys are commonly used keys are dichotomous keys. Dichotomous key. See, di means two. Cotomy means forked. That means each step has two alternative forms. See, a key is having two contrasting characters. Each step has two alternative forms. That means a pair of contrasting characters or or statement. A pair of contrasting character or statement that is called couplet. That is called couplet. So a couplet represents two statements. A couplet represents two contrasting statements. It represents two contrasting statements in which one could be accepted, another one is discarded. Then each statement is called lead. Each statement is called lead. So this is about the couplet and statement. Let us write a small key which will help to understand what are keys, how they are help in the identification of the plant. Let us try to write a small key. See, for example, when we identify new organism, it has been found. We try to identify a new organism. We can write a couplet. See, the first couplet, whether the organism is unicellular or multicellular. See, this is a couplet. Multicellular. See, this is the couplet. That means here two statements are there. One, whenever we found an organism, we can identify that organism, whether that organism is made up of by a single cell or multi-cell, many cells. Suppose if the organism is unicellular, that is in question form. Is the organism is unicellular or is the organism is multicellular? These are the two statements. So suppose if the organism is unicellular, we have accepted one statement. Another one is discarded. So organism is unicellular. Then we go to second couplet. We can go to second couplet. If it is multicellular, we can go to third couplet. Say next, second couplet. Suppose organism is unicellular. Then we go to second couplet. This second couplet contains nucleus is present. Question form. Is nucleus is present or nucleus is absent? So after identifying this organism is a unicellular, then we go to second, whether nucleus is present or not. So if it is nucleus is present, so it is a protista. Unicellular and nucleus is present, eukaryotic. So which organism? Unicellular, eukaryotic organism, nucleus, if the nucleus is present, we can say well developed nucleus, that is eukaryote. So protista or eukaryotic organism. Suppose if the nucleus is absent, say nucleus is absent, that is Monera. Monera. All Monerians are unicellular. All Monerians are unicellular and prokaryotic. Prokaryotic. So like this we can identify this. Suppose, so like this, the first one organism is unicellular or multicellular. If it is unicellular, we go to second couplet. In the second couplet, there are two more statements. Is whether nucleus is present or absent. If the nucleus is present, that organism belongs to Protista. So all unicellular eukaryotic organisms are kept under Protista. This is a statement, a leaf. So nucleus is absent. The nucleus is absent. That organism belongs to Monera. All unicellular prokaryotes. And suppose if the organism is multicellular, we go to third couplet. What is the third couplet? Autotrophs, heterotrophs. This is the again. So this is, if the multicellular, you have identified an organism as a multicellular, you go to third couplet. The third couplet contains whether here there are two statements are there. In these two statements, autotroph, whether that organism is autotroph or heterotroph. If it is a autotroph, we can go to it is a plantae. So plant. So organism is multicellular, having the proper nucleus, and it is a autotroph. So all plants belong to this kingdom plant. That is the leaf. So if it is heterotroph, we can go to fourth couplet. What is that fourth couplet? Fourth couplet. Motile or mobile. Whether this organism is a motile organism or mobile. Shows movement or not. Non-motile. Non-motile or immobile. Immobile. Say, if it is a organism is a multicellular, organism is heterotroph, and it shows motile, it shows movement, locomotion. So that belongs to Animalia. Okay, if it is a non-motile or immobile, that is a fungi. So like this, in this case, always we can identify the organism by questioning and tracking the lead. That goes to, we can reach a certain point. That point helps to us to identify a correct individual. So this is about the keys. Okay, and keys are always analytical in form, analytical in nature, and separate keys are required for family, genus, and species. So this is about the keys. You can see further another tools. The flora. Flora consists of a total number of plant species in an area. What are flora? Flora consists of total number of plant species in an area. How this flora help us? These are also useful for identification of plant species. So it gives information about flowering season and fruiting season and distribution of a given geographic area. So your flora gives information about flowering season, fruiting season, and distribution for the given geographic area. Example, Flora of British India. This was written by J.D. Hooker. J.D. Hooker. Okay, so this is about the flora. Flora help us to identify the plant species. Next, taxonomic tools, manuals. Manuals, they provide information for identification of names of species found in an area. So, manuals are the small pamphlet-like structures, provide information for identification of the names of species found in an area. Monograph, these are also small booklets like pamphlets, contains information of any one taxon. Example, the genus Pinus. Genus is a taxon. So, Pinus by N.T. Miro. And catalogs. These are also small booklets which gives an account of the special books of botanical titles, full names of authors and their publications. So, all these flora, manuals, monographs, catalogs, they help to us for identification of plant species. Okay, so this is about the first chapter we have completed. The next video we start with second chapter.